Hey man, once you learn how to tap into that flow state, it's gonna take your game to a whole nother level for real, man. So you gotta learn how to fully lock in and be fully present in the moment without overthinking, without worrying, so you can get into a flow and you can just play free and do your thing, you know what I mean? But that flow state, that's one of the greatest feelings in the world for real. Like if you ever been in the flow state, then you know how it feels to, you feel unconscious, like you can't do no wrong. Like everything you do is going right. You can throw the ball up from half court, it's going in the basket, you feel me? But that flow state, you have to learn how to activate the flow state and you have to learn how to train yourself to get into a flow. And being in the flow comes from being fully present in the moment for real. Like you can't be worried about the past. You can't be worried about what's gonna happen tomorrow. You gotta be fully present in the moment right now. And one of the main things that flow come from is being able to trust yourself and let go of worrying about the outcome of what's gonna happen. So you gotta be able to fully trust yourself, and the trust comes from putting in work, of course. Like you gotta put in the work on a daily basis. And the more work you put in, the more you trust yourself. And then once you plan, you don't have to think about what's gonna happen or how the outcome gonna be because you so confident and you trust yourself. So that's where the flow comes from, not thinking, just playing off instinct, being free. But if you worried about, oh, is this shot gonna go in? Or what if I turn the ball over? Or what if I lose the ball? Or you worried about your handles? Like all that stuff gonna kill your flow. So you gotta make sure your game is sharp and in peak form. And that's one of the best ways you can get into that flow, because now you playing off rhythm, you playing off feel. You don't gotta think about what you're gonna do. And flow state, it's ways that you can train the flow state. So one of the best ways you can train it is by challenging yourself, because flow state comes from being able to match your skill level with the challenge level. So if a challenge is way too hard for you and your skills don't really match up with it, it's gonna be hard for you to get in flow because you're gonna have a lot of anxiety and frustration. But if a challenge is too easy for you, then you're gonna be bored. So you gotta be able to have that even ground to where, okay, wherever you playing or whoever you playing, your skill level match that. So that's why I say you gotta have that skill level first so you can be able to rise to any challenge or compete with anybody, so you're not overthinking or you're not mentally defeated, you know what I mean? So that's number one, your skill level gotta meet the challenge. And you can train that. So for example, while you training, if you putting up shots, you could say, all right, I'm gonna make 2 in a row from each spot. That's a small challenge you could do, and it kind of locks in your flow and locks in your mindset, because the flow state comes from being fully focused in the moment. So when you gotta make 2 in a row from every spot, you have to lock in. And unless you're not gonna make it, you're not gonna finish the drill. Or you gotta make 5 in a row from each spot, or 10 in a row. Like that activate the flow, because you fully focused on the drill and what's going on. You don't have time to think about the last shot or the next 2 shots. You gotta focus on the shot right now. So that's where the flow come in, at being able to fully lock in and being fully present in the moment. Focus is one of the most important things in flow. That's why when you hooping, if you ever notice, if you worried about who in the crowd, you worried about who watching you, how you look, if you self-conscious, you're not gonna be able to get in flow. That's gonna kill flow. You can't worry about nothing. You gotta just go off instinct, don't think about nothing. As soon as you start thinking, your flow is done. You cannot think. Like thinking is the number one killer to flow and confidence and rhythm. So you gotta be able to activate that flow state, man, by challenging yourself on a daily basis to where it's second nature. Because the more you get into flow state, the easier it is to get into it. You know what I mean? It'd be second nature. So if you hooping, the best thing to do to be able to lock into that flow state is have a great pre-game routine. You know what I mean? So whether you gotta meditate before the game, get you a workout in. Some players like to work out before the game, and that get them in flow state. Some players like to listen to music, that get them in the flow state to where they not thinking, they not overthinking, they not too tense, they kind of just loose. So you got to find out what gets you in that zone. Because that's probably one of the most important things, because it take a little minute to get into the flow state. So if you hooping, that's why it's important for you to have a great warm up. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have a good warm up so when the game time come, your blood flowing, you in rhythm. Because if not, it might take you a quarter or two to get into your rhythm. You know what I mean? So you want to have a great warm up to be able to have your mind already running, have your rhythm going. But when you in that flow state, man, it feel like you can do no wrong, man. That's where you see players dropping 40, 50, 60, and they look like they not even trying for real. That's because they in the flow, you know what I mean? And that come from them fully trusting their work they put in. And then when the game time come, they not thinking. They just letting it fly and not worried about the results. If you overthinking, worried about the outcome or what's gonna happen at the end of the game, you gonna kill your flow. You gonna kill your confidence, kill your rhythm. And if you ever been into a flow, you know what I mean. Like, it feel like everything is green, like everything is right. Everything feel good, your shot feel good, your handles feel good, defense is right, your decision making, you dropping dimes, doing everything. And then the opposite side of that, when you overthinking, you worried, you scared about missing or turning the ball over, and you play even worse. So you can't think, you gotta just play off instinct, you gotta go. As soon as you start thinking, you done. Your confidence going down, your rhythm off, everything is off. So yeah, man, work on training that flow state. Play against players that challenge you so you can get into a flow state. And learn how to just free your mind, man. You have to have a free mind. You got to clear your mind. Can't be worried about all the stuff that don't really matter. And of course, every game you're not gonna be in flow state, but you can train yourself to where you can get in flow state 80% of the time or 90% of the time, and that's gonna take you to a whole nother level. But yeah, man, that flow state, that's the key to winning. That's the key to unlocking your full potential, because when you're in that flow state, it's nothing you can't do. Like, there's no limits to it. But you have to learn how to unlock that high level of consciousness. You got to be unconscious. If you self-conscious on the court, you're gonna never be a killer. You ain't gonna never get in that flow state. And that self-consciousness comes from overthinking, worried about stuff that you can't control. Like, you have to be fully relaxed, fully calm. And fully locked in, man. So, flow state, flow state, flow state. That's the key to greatness. Key to locking in, man. Look at Steph Curry, look at Kobe, all them dudes, man. When you see them getting off and they in that zone, they going off for 10, 15, 20 in a row, they in that flow state. And that come from hours and hours of work, trusting their game, being fully locked in, and not worried about the outcome. You gonna miss some, you gonna make some, but you gotta keep shooting though. Like, if you miss 2 in a row, if you miss 2 shots in a row, and you stop shooting, then your rhythm is done, your confidence gone. Like, you gotta keep shooting, keep going. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You might start off and you might miss your first 2 or 3 shots. And that moment right there is gonna determine the rest of your game. Either you gonna stop shooting and kill your rhythm, kill your confidence, or you're gonna keep going. You might miss 2, 3 shots in a row and make the next 5, you know what I mean? So it's all about just not thinking, but being fully present in the moment. You can't be worried about your last 2 shots. You can't be worried about if you're gonna make the next 2. You gotta have a fully present in the moment mindset. And that's what's gonna take you to that next level, man. That's airball, but look, I airballed that. I'm not worried about that shot no more, man. I'm right back to it. I ain't thinking about the last shot. Feel me? I airball, then I come through, switch one. I ain't thinking about the last shot. I'm fully in the moment, man. But yeah, man, work on that flow state. Work on challenging yourself while you training, while you working out. Push yourself and stay locked in, man. Stay focused on what your goal is. Stay focused on getting to that next level, unlocking your full potential. And the more and more you train that flow state, the more and more greatness you will achieve and you will reach. So that's what it's all about, man, that flow state. That's probably the most important thing in basketball and in life, is being able to lock into that flow state, get in your zone to where you on a whole nother level. You ain't even thinking. You ain't even thinking about nothing. You just going. So that's what it is, man. Flow state. Stay locked in. Let me make one more three. Can't leave on the miss. Oh, one leg. We gone, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what other topics y'all want me to talk about, man. Keep tuning in.